Days of Our Lives spoilers hint that Sophia Choi may kidnap baby Trey DiMera after a Bayview escape. Duel fans know Sophia still isn't speaking or interacting with anyone at all, so Aaron Green remains quite concerned about her. In Days' November 21st episode, Aaron and Ariana Ari Horton paid Sophia a heartbreaking visit. That gave Aaron a chance to assure Sophia that their baby went to a good home and would have a great life, but she just continued staring straight ahead. Of course, it's possible Sophia is faking it. Sophia's expression did seem a touch softer after Aaron and Ari left, like maybe their visit had affected her emotionally. However, Days is already dropping hints about another dramatic chapter ahead for Sophia. Aaron left out the part about Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree DiMera being the adoptive parents, so that news is still to come. Ari tried to ease Aaron's worries by reminding him that before Sophia spiraled out of control, she actually wanted Chanel and Johnny to raise little T. Since that's exactly what Johnny and Chanel are doing now, Ari credited Aaron for that and suggested it might give Sophia some sort of peace when she got updates. Naturally, Days spoilers suggest Ari may be very wrong about that. This info could snap Sophia back to reality in the worst possible way and perhaps set the stage for her to flee Bayview. We could certainly imagine Sophia emerging from her trance and vowing to reclaim her baby. Sophia might decide to take Trey back by force since she vehemently disapproves of Chanel and Johnny raising her child. Since Johnny and Chanel are so exhausted over this new parenthood adjustment, that could play a role in leaving Trey vulnerable to his birth mom. There might be some situation where Sophia uses Chanel and Johnny's exhaustion to her advantage. Regardless, Sophia has proven she's capable of some dirty plots, so she may be on the verge of carrying out another one. The more Ari predicts that maybe Sophia will be okay with Chanel and Johnny raising Trey, the more likely it becomes that Sophia will go even further off the rails. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint that Sophia could make a Bayview getaway and launch a kidnapping scheme, so stay tuned. Jen Lilley knows that, like her former Days of Our Lives character, she has a reputation. But whereas Teresa was the living embodiment of a hot mess, Lilley's rep has more to do with her absolute love of the holiday season. "I feel like my life is Christmas," she admitted during our recent chat. "I have so many Christmas trees that I had to start giving them away to charities that I love. I'm like the Oprah of Christmas trees. You get a tree, and you get a tree." And yes, she has a Christmas tree in the kitchen. "What are you supposed to look at while you're baking all the cookies?" she asked with a grin. Over the years, the multi-talented Lilley, who sings, acts, produces, writes, and more, has also become known for holiday movies. But the one currently streaming across Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and other services is, well, a little bit different, which is something people kinda need to know. She laughingly warned of Chris Mystery. "It will not fill your house with holiday charm. It is quirky and weird and offbeat, which is exactly what drew me to it." Chris Mystery finds her alter ego, Annie, serving as sheriff in a small town during the holiday season. To call Annie a curmudgeon would be putting it nicely, especially as she deals with one crime after another that mean nothing to her. The whole town is full of offbeat characters, and she's basically the straight man. Even as Lilley is chatting up the movie, she's rolling out her first devotional, titled Wake Up Your Faith. Its purpose is to sort of recenter you in your faith, reframe your mind, reframe your purpose, she explained. "My goal is that when people read it, they'll actually feel seen, valued, and loved." With so much on her plate, would Lilley contemplate carving out time for a return to Salem? "It was super wild," she reflected of the unexpected recast. "The whole thing was bizarre, but I don't hold it against anybody. It was just sort of a huge concoction of miscommunication. But would I go back? Listen, I've always loved Teresa. She is my favorite character that I've ever played." So yes, she would absolutely go back. But there's a bit of a caveat. For now, between raising 4 children under the age of 9 and her assorted projects, any soap stint would have to be a short one. That said, would I go back when my kids are a little bit older? Of course! Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that the last time Stefan DiMera was seen, he was kidnapped by Vivian Alamain. It was to prevent Stefan from reuniting with Gabby Hernandez. However, with someone kidnapping Tony DiMera and Kristen DiMera, could Stefan be behind it? Keep reading and let's talk about the possibilities. Fans might recall that when Stefan last appeared, he was kidnapped. The man was about to reunite with Gabby. However, Vivian wasn't going to allow that and issued orders to Ivan Moraes. The man grabbed Stefan and threw him into a trunk before he could talk to Gabby. Then later, Gabby got the divorce papers and started to work on moving on with her life. Since then, Gabby has tried to move on. Right now, she's reconnected with Philip Kyriakis. Soaps love to have a character move on romantically only to bring back their former flame. That would put Gabby in a love triangle. However, if Stefan is going to come back after all this time, he needs more than just a romantic reunion story. Fans already saw that with Jake DiMera. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that one interesting storyline is Kristen and Tony's separate disappearances. Kristen was kidnapped from prison and is considered to be an escapee. However, Kristen was bonked on the head, blindfolded, then woke up to Tony. As for Tony, he was overseas when he was taken. The next thing Tony knows, he's trapped in that room with Kristen. While a lot of people are assuming the kidnapper might be Vivian or even Dmitry von Luschner, I have to wonder if it's actually Stefan. At some point, Gabby needs to know that Stefan didn't leave her. Plus, Stefan is going to want revenge one day. Vivian wouldn't physically hurt Stefan, but likely has him locked up somewhere. Stefan could have escaped, or might even be reprogrammed. When Stefan first made his debut, he and Vivian crashed New Year's Eve. So, with this free clinic making its big debut, could it be crashed by Stefan? Maybe Stefan's time away has made him more vicious and devious. One thing people kept saying to Stefan is he wasn't cut out to be a DiMera. So, maybe Stefan comes back to show everyone who's really in charge now. In Days of Our Lives, spoilers reveal that Rachel Black has finally crossed that line that could land her in a mental institution until she can learn to deal with things in a normal way. Rachel will reveal that she is the one who shot her uncle E.J. DiMera, and this comes on the tail end of her trying to kill Sarah Horton. Will Rachel finally get the help she needs? Rachel has proven to be a schemer most of her life. In all honesty, this kid is a spoiled brat who needs to learn that her actions have consequences, and no one has ever taught her that. Is it time for the girl to get some much-needed help before she actually kills someone with her reckless actions? Rachel was well aware of Sarah's allergy when she put pistachio nuts when she decided to put the ice cream in Sarah's sundae. Rachel knew that Sarah could die and did that anyway. Rachel seriously needs to get some professional help, and it needs to be done while Kristen DiMera is not around to stop it. It is embarrassing to say that Brady Black is simply incapable of handling this child, and Marlena Evans is not around to help. Rachel rants at Brady and frankly talks to him like she is the parent, not him. Brady allows this to go on knowing that it isn't right. Rachel doesn't listen to Brady at all. Rachel has now completely gone far beyond what is acceptable. Rachel purposely gave Sarah something that could kill her, and she did it knowing what would happen. Rachel also remembered that she shot EJ while trying to make him give her information about her grandmother Blake. Rachel is truly about to flip out. Rachel needs help now before she does something to hurt someone else. Rachel has even begun to pull Thomas DiMera into her evil plots. Thomas knocked out Alex Kyriakis while trying to hit Kat Green. Thomas then took off and ran out in front of a car afterwards. Rachel is beyond control and desperately needs help. Rachel is far too young to understand how she is feeling and certainly cannot cope with these feelings. Will Brady finally see that Rachel needs inpatient care before it is too late to help her get better? Will Rachel end up just like her mother instead? Come here for all things Duel. Check back often for Days of Our Lives news, spoilers, and updates. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, November 25th demonstrate that it wasn't just evil Sophia's existence that was keeping Holly and Tate apart. They are both way too immature for an adult relationship. Now that Tate is no longer the father of Sophia's baby, due to pure dumb luck on his part, he and Holly should have no more problems. So why do they still have problems? Holly is off doing things without Tate, and Tate complains to Ari about it. Meanwhile, the actual father of Sophia's baby, due to pure dumb bad luck on his part, Aaron runs into Chanel. She was all sugar and spice to Aaron when Chanel needed him to sign away his parental rights. Now that she's got little Trey, will Chanel change her tune? Poor Brady. His stepmother's in the hospital, and his daughter is an attempted murderess. He's got a lot to talk to his sister Belle about. There's the family stuff about Marlena, and there's Rachel, possibly needing a lawyer. They've both got their hands full. Alex's plan to earn millions of dollars for Titan hinges on Stephanie's book sales. To make that happen, he thinks he needs to send her out on tour. Stephanie suggested Alex come along. He's reluctant. What's Alex hiding from Stephanie now? Susan Seaforth Hayes has had a plethora of co-stars during her decades on Days of Our Lives. Ahead of the 60th anniversary of the hit Peacock soap, Hayes took time to gush over two of her favorite co-stars, Lamont Archie and Sal Stowers. Speaking with Michael Fairman TV to look back on Days in honor of the milestone celebration, Hayes took time to speak out about her relationship with Archie. Hayes admitted she enjoyed having Eli and her brother Stephen back for the gala to celebrate the Tom Horton Free Clinic. During the talk, Hayes couldn't hide her love for Archie, whom she referred to as beautiful inside and out. The two grew close while working together on several storylines, since it was revealed that Eli is her grandson. Hayes also revealed that when her husband, Bill Hayes, died, Archie gave the most touching gift. Layman gave me a wind chime that says, "Every time this plays, remember me, for Billy, and it hangs in my garden, and whenever I go by it, I thank him again," she expressed. It's not just Archie that Hayes praised. She couldn't speak about him without gushing over his on-screen partner Stowers. "I'm always happy to see him back on the show with Sal, who is also just a walking and talking goddess of beauty, charm, and talent. I love that couple. I love that they're on the show," Hayes stated. The feeling is mutual, as Archie left several heart emojis on the video of Hayes' kind words that was posted to Michael Fairman TV's official Instagram page. Eli and Lonnie don't live in Salem anymore, but they continue to pop back in when Stowers and Archie's schedule allows. Not going to lie, we love a good Eli and Julie scene and hope to see them back in the mix soon, perhaps for the holidays. As Days of Our Lives slides into its 60th anniversary next year, the show feels less like a TV institution and more like a small town you grew up in, one where familiar faces still surprise you, old storylines echo in the walls, and the actors you've watched for decades keep finding new ways to speak directly to the audience. That spirit, that sense of communal heartbeat, is right at the center of what Sal Stowers is doing with her Women to Women series, and her latest installment with Lindsay Godfrey might be the clearest example yet. Stowers sat down with Godfrey for a new Women to Women video. Stowers' self-started project, built around real women offering real advice, and teased the clip with the simple Instagram caption, "Women to Women, effed Lindsay Godfrey." From the first beat of the video, Stowers is glowing, laughing about how obsessed she is with Godfrey's energy before she asks the central question, "What gem of advice would you give to young girls and women?" Godfrey doesn't hedge. She repeats the mantra she tells her daughter, "Be an original, be unapologetically yourself." She talks about ditching the box other people try to stuff you into, the clothes, the attitude, the behaviors you're supposed to adopt in friendships or relationships, and instead wearing the weird things you love and doing the weird things you do, so people actually know who you are. Stowers echoed it right back to her. "There is only one unique you, so own it," she said, laughing in that way you can hear even through a phone speaker. It's soft, it's simple, and it's the kind of message that hits harder than either woman pretends. The comments section felt like a small choir warming up. One viewer cheered, "Yes! My queen, my woman, this is everything," while another just dropped a line of clapping emojis that said everything without saying anything. A follower chimed in with, "Women like you are what we need in the world. Keep shining like the special person that you are." The love kept pouring in. Someone else wrote, "Amazing," while another fan shared, "My daughter and I will be following. You're an absolutely beautiful soul, and we love watching you." Even the quick hits. the hearts, the love this, the so beautiful, felt like little candles being lit one after another, and tucked between all that support were the sweet, funny, very human moments fans always bring. More Stowers, please? By the time a final fan chimed in with, "My girls," me, it felt like the whole community had wrapped its arms around the project, and Godfrey, Deidre Hall, Stephen Nichols, Susan Seaforth Hayes, and Matthew Ashford sat down with Entertainment Tonight to spill 60 years' worth of tea about Days of Our Lives. In celebration of Day's 60th anniversary, Entertainment Tonight recently had on some OG Salemites to spill the tea and discuss celebrity encounters, first paycheck splurges, and those intimidating love scenes. After cheersing with their cups of tea, Nichols kicked the roundtable off by asking his co-stars how they would prepare for love scenes over the years. Seaforth Hayes suggested a shower, while Ashford revealed that he and his on-screen partner, Melissa Reeves, always assure each other that they brush their teeth and pop a Tic Tac. "I asked for a 3-week advance notice so that I could lose that last 5 pounds of water so I could be ripped," Nichols admitted. The four moved on to their first big splurges after joining the show. Hall told them she got a dog, and Hayes said she bought a Savonarola chair she still has, while Nichols revealed he bought a leather jacket that he later wore on the show for several years. When asked about celebrity fans of the show, Ashford told the story of when he met Jennifer Aniston, whose late father, John Aniston, played Victor on Days for 37 years. "She reminded me that we both auditioned for a soap back in New York, and I got the soap and she hadn't. And I said, 'Jennifer, I think you're all right.'" Hall also remembered the moment Julia Roberts told her she was her biggest fan, while Nichols recalled Lou Diamond Phillips approaching him to tell him that he and his wife were huge fans of the show. As for their characters, Days of Our Lives spoilers for November 24th tease Hall's Marlena confronting EJ, while Nichols' on-screen wife, Mary Beth Evans' Kayla, gives Belle a hard truth. On Days of Our Lives, Rachel has become quite the new villain in the past few months, with Alice Halsey's outstanding performances adding so many layers to the troubled young girl. In February, Halsey took over the role of Rachel from Finley Rose Slater, who played Brady and Kristen's daughter for 4 years. It didn't take long for Halsey to make the role her own, and she's been hitting it out of the park ever since. The young actress has done what even some adults can't. Halsey has turned Rachel into a villain fans love to hate, while also showing her vulnerable side and reminding fans that Rachel is just a kid with serious problems. One moment, Halsey can have Rachel acting like an evil brat, like when she poisoned Sarah. Then, in the blink of an eye, Halsey can have fans feeling sorry for Rachel, much like when he realized she shot RJ. Halsey has become a breakout star on Days in the past few months, thanks to her portrayal of Rachel, adding so many layers. As the truth comes out about EJ's shooting, fans can expect even more powerhouse performances from Halsey, who knows how to hold her own against vets like Martsolf and Deidre Hall. Over on Reddit, Days fans have been singing Halsey's praises. "Rachel is the best villain this show has had in a long time. I'm here for it," stated a fan. Another fan declared, "Rachel is officially must-see every time she is on. Love when she was reading the laptop, how she struggled with jurisdiction. I am really enjoying this Rachel storyline. I know a lot of people may disagree, but I think the writers are doing a good job writing for a child that has basically been raised by a sociopath. Kristen may love Rachel and do everything for her, but she's a terrible mother. I, for one, am here for it," insisted a different Anne on Reddit. Whether you are a Rachel fan or think she's a brat, one thing we can all agree on is that Halsey has fans talking about the character. The writing has been great, but Halsey's delivery is on point and so entertaining. There's been no official word on Halsey's status with Days, but with her new gig, chances are another Rachel recast is looming. Since Days films nearly 10 months in advance, it will be a while before fans see a new Rachel, if that is indeed what is happening. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. Hearing Rachel tell him that she is the one who shot EJ leaves Brady reeling. That was the last news he expected to hear while waiting for news on Sarah. He thought the EJ case was solved, Kristen did it, and Kristen would pay. Learning that his daughter is a would-be murderess is a shock to Brady's system. Belle is already stressed with Marlena having to undergo emergency surgery for a pacemaker. She tells Brady the latest news about their mother, but Brady has news that's a little more shocking than that. Rachel just told him that she was the one who shot EJ, which means Kristen sacrificed herself for the sake of her child. They both wonder when Kristen learned what really happened. Was it right before she confessed? That would explain why she allowed Rachel to take the stand. Belle also has to wonder if EJ knew, which would mean he kept quiet for Rachel's sake. Will they also figure out that Marlena has known the truth this whole time, which was why she kept going to bat for Kristen? New mom Chanel is out and about with her brand new son when they run into poor Aaron, who is still emotional over learning he fathered a child whom he chose to give up without hours. Poor Aaron has already visited a catatonic Sophia and told her all about their son being adopted by the perfect couple. Sophia might not agree when she is herself again, but Aaron knows that Johnny and Chanel were the right choice. The meeting between Aaron and Chanel is awkward. Chanel feels she should allow Aaron to see and hold Trey, but she is not sure that she wants to. It's not easy for an adoptive parent to share a child with their birth parents, and even Aaron knows he should not get too attached. Will he be able to walk away from Chanel and the baby? Welcome to Days of Our Lives, Daily YAPP, for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments in today's episode. Let's get to it. Rather than EJ remembering that Rachel shot him in a big dramatic scene that ended up with him blurting it out, Marlena saw the recognition and shock on his face and quietly asked to speak to him alone. When Rachel had the same memory, the realization also came at an unexpected moment. Rachel did a bad thing to Sarah, and that bad thing she did to Uncle EJ came flooding back. Rather than it being a big dramatic moment that took away from what was happening to Sarah, it happened quietly, and Rachel remained quiet. It was also the last thing that Brady expected Rachel to tell him when they were discussing the Sarah situation. There was no big fanfare. Instead, it's just a confused kid and an even more confused father who has to now face the fact that his daughter is a would-be murderer twice over. Sometimes, quiet and subtle really is the way to go. But now, Brady has to realize that he really screwed up when he saw to it that Kristen go to jail for much longer than expected. In fact, Kristen should not be in jail at all, and made the ultimate sacrifice for her daughter. So, maybe it's time for Brady to eat a little crow, once a kidnapped Kristen is found, that is. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full duel recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Parental problems plagued Salem and Days of Our Lives this week as Jennifer thought she knew it all, Chad fought to fight with all he had, and Rachel learned she had another mother, while her real mother spent some time with the dead. And that mother who can talk to the dead? Well, she had another message for her son. Let's dig on in. We don't like being enraged with Jennifer Rose. We have loved Jennifer Rose since she first arrived back in Salem as a teenager, and fell for Glenn Gallagher and then Frankie Brady before landing on Jack Devereaux. But Jennifer Rose really needs to check herself, because this custody of her grandchildren thing is absolutely ridiculous. How could Chad having feelings for someone, but sacrificing and swallowing those feelings for the sake of his children, make him a bad parent? He has shown nothing but love and devotion for those 2 kids. If he explained that the situation with Kat in the square was a misunderstanding, why can't Jennifer just believe him? How does any of this make him someone she no longer recognizes, as she implied to Justin? So yeah, we're Team Chad here, because Jennifer is truly being a piece of work. And we hope Thanksgiving, and some tough love from Julie, will help her come to her senses. Julie might not be Kat's biggest fan, but nobody has been there for her this past year more than Chad. Well, Rachel is at it again. Brady is not allowed to like anyone female if that female is not her mother. First Chloe, then Ava, and now Sarah. We thought this Rachel was a little more mature, but nope. One hug between Sarah and Brady, and the old Rachel had returned. Yes, Rachel played the dirty trick with the ice cream before she knew why Sarah had kidnapped her as a baby, but shouldn't the news article have explained the situation more in depth? Shouldn't Rachel have known the reason? As soon as she heard Sarah's explanation, she felt immediate guilt, but it was too late. However, we are not complaining about the twist we'd predicted. Rachel now knows she shot EJ, a part of the story that was a long time coming. We guess with Kristen back on the scene, even in the DiMera crypt, it was time to let her out of jail for good. And also time for Brady to learn that he was very, very wrong about his ex. Now, we have a soap opera happening, which is all we never ask for on a soap that can often creep along way too slowly. We also know that Xander and Sarah are eventually endgame, so this thing with Brady is just an interlude. With Kristen back in the mix, we expect it will end sometime soon. EJ's mom had a warning this week because Stacey Hayduck is doing double duty once again. She feels Stefano. He is out there somewhere. Even Kristen can feel him in the crypt, which is highly unusual for Kristen. But we are still pretty darn confused about Tony. We really did think he was Andre, and he kidnapped Kristen. But this seems to be Tony, who was really taken before he was supposed to board a cruise ship. Color us surprised. But being surprised is a good thing. We also assume that Rolf is indeed trying to resurrect Stefano again. All we can say is been there, done that, and rinse repeat. Sigh. We confess. We became hooked on Sophia and Amy. It's rare when a soap can introduce two new characters without any real ties to the canvas and have them grab our interest so quickly. Maybe it's a testament to the talents of Rachel Boyd and Sheenie Nielsen, but we want to see their mother-daughter relationship explored. We want to understand the Choi family dynamic better to understand what makes Sophia tick. We are glad she came back into focus this week when Ari and Aaron paid her a visit, and Gabby got her daughter to see just what a teenage pregnancy can do to a person. That was some huge character growth and insight from Gabby. Bravo! We assume Sophia will come out of her catatonic state eventually, and that's when things will get interesting again. Can she accept Johnny and Chanel as her baby's adoptive parents? She doesn't have parental rights, so she really does not have any say in the matter. Sammy's men commiserating over her engagement was an amusing touch. Could she really be trying to get under their skin as Lucas had suggested? Someone is after Alex, and it reminds us of Body and Soul. And we are now terrified that Story is somehow making a dreaded return. Just no. The Salem dating game also needs to end. Jada has been making some pretty questionable dating app choices, which only cause us to question her abilities as a cop, much less the Salem police commissioner. And Theo? Why does it seem like an entirely new character who is just named Theo, but bears absolutely no resemblance to the one we knew before? And the biggest relief of the whole week? The gala night that started a week earlier finally ended on Friday. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, November 24th reveal that Brady reveals the hard truth to Belle, and more. Read on for Soap Opera News' full breakdown of what's coming up. Brady just got hit with not one, but two jaw-dropping truths. First, he finds out it was Rachel who targeted Sarah with something she's allergic to. Before he can even process that properly, Rachel drops an even bigger bomb. She remembers that her mother wasn't the one who shot EJ. It was her. Naturally, Brady's got questions, probably a whole avalanche of them. And once the dust settles, will it finally hit him that Kristen actually did something selfless and took the fall to protect their daughter? That's a whole lot for one man to digest in a single episode. But Brady's day isn't done. He's also got a tough truth to share with Belle. Whether he tells her what he just learned is a whole separate dilemma. And things aren't exactly smooth for Aaron either. The poor guy is the father of a baby who was adopted the moment he confirmed the child was his. Chanel and Johnny are now the proud parents of that little one. So when Aaron ends up having an awkward run-in with Chanel, it's safe to say he wasn't remotely ready for it. Meanwhile, Tate decides to open up to Ari. The guy's got a lot rattling around in his head these days. Is this about his reunion with Holly? Is it about the whole little T situation? Could it be about Sophia and her lies? Time's going to sort that one out. Speaking of Holly, Spoilers tease that she nails an interview. What interview exactly? School-related? Something totally different? Whatever it is, Holly clearly makes quite the impression. Elsewhere, Alex is pressing Stephanie as her book tour gets closer. He's been the picture-perfect supportive boyfriend so far, so what's got him suddenly pushing her? So, do you think Brady will believe Rachel? Sound off in the comments, and don't miss more duel spoilers coming soon. Don't forget, new episodes stream weekdays exclusively on Peacock. Days spoilers for Nov 24 reveal that Tate opens up to Ari, Alex presses Stephanie, and more. In this episode, she shocks Brady with a confession about the night her uncle EJ was shot. In the world of daytime soap operas, we're often gifted with couples we love, couples we can't stand, and some that just leave us wondering how we should really feel. Recently, Soap Opera News ran their second poll asking fans which potential couple they'd ship. The poll featured 5 pairs, one from each daytime soap: Beyond the Gates, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, The Bold and the Beautiful, and The Young and the Restless. And we've got the results. Stealing the #1 spot with 36.38% of the vote was none other than General Hospital's Michael Corinthos and Jacinda Bracken, played by Rory Gibson and Paige Herschel, respectively. So far, these two are just tricking the crowd, pretending to be in a relationship as a means of securing each other's alibi for Drew Kane's shooting. But one thing we have not been able to deny is the chemistry between them, and apparently we are not the only ones. The votes agree. Coming in close at second place with 25.66% was none other than The Bold and the Beautiful's Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp, portrayed by Rebecca Budig and Sean Kanan. Unlike the aforementioned duo, these two have yet to share a kiss, and the spark between them is clear as the day. The chemistry is palpable. It's easy to see why fans would want them together. Despite Deacon being married to Sheila, some fans would want him to explore something with Taylor. Well, at least the 25.66% who voted. Would you? In third place came was The Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers and Kane Ashby, with 18.53% of the vote. Y&R fans was surprised when, despite his desire to reunite with Lilley, Kane took a big step with Phyllis. The two finally hit the sheets. And did we smoke, or were we dreaming? Clearly, an 18.53% voters believe something is there. Following behind in fourth were Days of Our Lives, Brady and Sarah with 8.95%, and rounding out the list in fifth place with 6.78% was Beyond the Gates, Nicole and Carlton. So, who would have been your #1 pick? Drop a comment below and let us know which couple you think deserves the spotlight. Days of Our Lives may soon welcome a new hot single woman, and her arrival could flip Chad DiMera's world upside down. Salem has been buzzing with romantic surprises, and Chad might be the next target of a fresh, dramatic love twist. Rumors suggest Days of Our Lives might introduce a gorgeous newcomer who immediately turns heads. Salem loves fresh energy, and this woman could bring plenty of it. Chad stands at a vulnerable crossroads, making him the perfect candidate for unexpected sparks. A new arrival could tempt him, challenge him, or confuse him further. This mystery woman might arrive as part of the revived Salem singles buzz. Chad already feels pressure to move forward, and a new match could push him into uncharted territory. Her entry might not only impact Chad's heart, but also disrupt the delicate balance he maintains with Kat Green. The ripple effects could spread fast. Chad has struggled to move past recent heartbreak, and that emotional baggage still lingers. A bold new woman might sense his vulnerability and see an opportunity to break through his guarded exterior. Her confidence could intrigue him, but it might also terrify him. That tension creates perfect drama. This unexpected connection might force Chad to reconsider what he truly wants. Is he ready to date again, or is he still clinging to old hope? Fans know Chad rarely rushes into romance, yet Salem has a funny way of forcing characters into situations they resist. His emotional conflict could become one of the episode's most compelling angles. A new woman focusing on Chad might create jealousy in places fans didn't expect. Kat could feel shaken watching Chad step into a new dynamic. Even if she tries to hide it, her reaction could speak volumes, hinting that her chapter with Chad may not be fully closed. Other Salem singles might also feel the disruption. Theo, Jada, and even Gabby might have opinions about Chad moving forward. Salem thrives on emotional chaos, and this new beauty might deliver exactly that. She could expose hidden feelings and ignite fresh tension between characters who thought their romantic lives were stable. A new girl entering Chad's orbit might also shift other storylines. She could be connected to a family feud or tie into an existing mystery. Salem rarely adds characters without long-term potential, so her history might carry secrets that shake more than Chad's dating life. If this new woman bonds with Chad, other characters might begin reconsidering their own choices. Salem has always been an emotional domino chain. One new arrival could set off multiple reactions, leading to unexpected pairings or heartbreaks. That potential ensures viewers stay hooked. A new hot single woman joining Days of Our Lives could change everything for Chad DiMera. Her presence might spark jealousy, stir unresolved feelings, and reshape current storylines. Stay tuned to see how her arrival shakes Salem next on Soap Opera Daily. Brady and Rachel are at University Hospital when she tells him that her mommy didn't shoot Uncle EJ. Jennifer and Thomas are setting the table for Horton Thanksgiving when Charlotte says she is wishing for her daddy to come back home. Tate, Holly, Ariana, and Aaron toast to their Friendsgiving. Belle brings Thanksgiving to Marlena. Philip is having Thanksgiving with the Hernandez family. He is thankful for loyalty and everyone who stood by him in his hour of need. Roman says the Thanksgiving Day prayer for the Brady family festivities, as Brady and Tate do the same at Rachel's hospital room bedside. What are you looking forward to next week? Sound off in the comments and watch the video clip below.